Welcome back to Becoming Ultimate Masters, the show where we help you unlock your full potential.
Absolutely.
Get ready for a deep dive
Oh, yeah.
into some fascinating ideas that can shift your perspective and maybe even spark some superpowers. Today,
I love
we're exploring the concept of the fifth dimension,
Okay.
based on insights from Kimberly Meredith's book, Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, Discovering the Soul's Path to Healing.
All right.
You might already be familiar with some of these ideas,
Right.
but we're going to uncover some hidden gems and practical tips that can really make a difference in your life.
Love it.
What's particularly cool about this book
Yeah.
is that Meredith doesn't just talk about spirituality in a vague,
Right.
abstract way.
Yeah.
She really connects the idea of the fifth dimension to practical advice for healing and living a more fulfilling life. And for a generation that's super aware of the challenges facing our world, that's really empowering.
For sure.
So let's jump right in. Many of you probably know about the three spatial dimensions: length, width, and height.
Right. Right.
And we can wrap our heads around time as the fourth dimension.
Sure.
But a fifth dimension, that might sound like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of a mind bender at first, but
Right. But Meredith explains it in a way that makes sense.
yeah.
She describes the third dimension as the reality we experience through our five senses. It's the world of technology, artificial intelligence, and honestly, a lot of the negativity we see around us.
Right.
She even mentions that the guides her term for spiritual beings
Okay.
aren't too thrilled with what we've created in the third dimension.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see why they might have some concerns.
Okay, that's a pretty strong statement. So where does the fourth dimension fit into all of this?
Well, think of the fourth dimension as a bridge to the fifth. It's where we experience things like spirituality, love, compassion,
Okay.
a deeper connection to the animal kingdom,
Mm.
and even what she calls the angelic realm.
Okay.
It's like a stepping stone to higher consciousness.
Got it. So it's like leveling up in a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
Third dimension is the basic level.
Right.
Fourth dimension is where things get more interesting.
Yeah.
And fifth dimension is where we unlock the really cool powers.
Exactly. You got it.
Exactly. Meredith paints a picture of the fifth dimension as a realm where we experience profound healing,
Yes.
see our intentions manifest quickly,
Right.
and even develop superpowers.
It's like, yeah, superpowers. Sign me up.
Superpowers. Now, that's something I think we can all get behind. I mean, who hasn't dreamed of having superpowers?
Exactly. I mean, come on.
Well, according to Meredith, we all possess these abilities,
Okay.
but they're lying dormant within us. She's talking about things like clairvoyance, clear seeing, clairaudience, clear hearing, and other clairs that basically enhance our senses to a whole other level.
Right.
You might even have experienced glimpses of these abilities without realizing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Whoa, that's pretty mind-blowing. So
Right.
we've got these dimensions mapped out,
Yeah.
and the fifth dimension sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah, it does.
But how do we actually get there?
Right.
What's the secret to awakening this higher consciousness and tapping into those superpowers?
Yeah, the big question.
This is where Meredith's insights get really practical.
Okay.
She emphasizes the importance of overcoming the negativity of the third dimension, letting go of fear, suffering, resentment, all the things that weigh us down. She even describes it as
Yeah.
unlearning and undeveloping the 3D mindset of the ego
Right.
that separates every word, every thought, every perception, and every moment.
Wow, that's powerful.
I think we've all felt that heavy energy
Yeah.
when we're caught up in negative thoughts or emotions. It's like we're literally carrying a burden.
Totally. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Precisely. And Meredith believes that by shifting our focus to love, forgiveness, and acceptance, the qualities that define the fifth dimension, we literally raise our vibrational frequency and access this higher realm. Think of it like tuning into a different radio station, one that's broadcasting positivity, healing, and abundance.
I like that analogy. Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense. But it's one thing to talk about letting go of negativity
Right.
and another to actually do it.
Yeah, totally.
Any tips from Meredith on how to make that shift?
Well, she says awareness is key. We need to become conscious of our thought patterns and start to challenge the negative self-talk that keeps us stuck.
Oh, okay.
She suggests that even a simple act like expressing gratitude can raise your vibration and make you more receptive to fifth dimensional experiences.
It's like we need to become the CEOs of our own minds,
Exactly.
making conscious choices about what thoughts we allow in.
Yeah. Yeah, being mindful.
That's a great way to put it. We need to take charge of our thoughts
Right.
and choose to focus on the positive,
Yeah.
even when it feels challenging. But what about those times when negativity is coming from external sources?
Right.
Like, let's face it, the news can be pretty overwhelming these days.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Meredith acknowledges that we can't always control our external environment, but we can control our reactions.
Hmm.
She talks about creating an energetic shield to protect ourselves from negative energy.
An energetic shield. Ooh, that sounds intense. Have you ever tried that technique? What was it like?
It might sound mystical,
Yeah.
but it's actually a very practical tool.
Okay.
Imagine it like a bubble of positive energy that you create around yourself.
I see. Yeah.
It's about setting boundaries and choosing what energy you allow into your space.
Right. Like a filter.
So it's not about ignoring negativity,
Yeah.
but about consciously choosing not to let it drain our energy.
Exactly. Yeah. Protecting your own vibe.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we have a choice in how we respond to the world around us.
Mm.
And it's about creating a safe haven for ourselves where we can nurture our own positive energy.
Yeah. I love that. It's like building a fortress of positivity within ourselves.
I love that. It's like building a fortress of positivity within ourselves.
Exactly.
And within that fortress, Meredith suggests we incorporate practices like meditation.
Okay.
She calls it one of the most powerful tools for accessing the fifth dimension.
Right. Meditation. Yeah.
Okay, meditation. I've heard about its benefits, but I've always struggled to make it a consistent practice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Any tips for someone who's new to meditation or finds it hard to sit still?
Well, she emphasizes that it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right.
Even a few minutes a day can make a huge difference.
Oh, okay.
There are tons of different techniques out there, from guided meditations to simply focusing on your breath.
Okay.
It's about finding what works for you and making it a part of your daily routine. It doesn't have to be this big, intimidating thing.
So it's about quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Even a few minutes of focused meditation can have a real impact.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And she encourages people to find a style of meditation that resonates with them.
Right.
There are so many different techniques out there, from guided meditations to mindfulness practices.
Right, right.
It's about experimenting and finding what works best for you.
Okay, so meditation is key. What else can we do to cultivate that fifth dimension connection?
Well, Meredith also talks about the importance of connecting with nature.
Oh, okay.
She believes that spending time in nature can help us ground ourselves, recharge our energy, and tap into the natural rhythms of the universe. And let's be honest, who doesn't feel better after spending some time outdoors?
I can definitely relate to that.
Right.
There's something about being in nature that just feels calming and rejuvenating.
Yeah, for sure.
But is it just about going for a walk in the park?
Right.
Or is there a deeper level to this connection with nature?
Well, Meredith says that nature is like a portal to the fifth dimension. It helps us slow down, tune into our senses, and connect to something larger than ourselves. It's about being present and mindful in nature, really experiencing the sights, sounds, and sensations.
So it's not just about getting fresh air.
Right.
It's about actively engaging with nature
Yes.
and allowing it to recharge our energy.
Exactly. It's about being present and mindful in nature, really experiencing the sights, sounds, and sensations.
Okay, I'm getting a much better sense of how we can start to tap into the fifth dimension.
Yeah.
It's about shifting our mindset,
Right.
incorporating practices like meditation and grounding ourselves in nature. But what about those superpowers we were talking about?
Yeah.
How do we activate those hidden abilities?
Now that's where things get really exciting. Meredith talks about a technique called DNA activation,
Okay,
which she believes can unlock those dormant abilities within us.
DNA activation. Tell me more.
It's like we're upgrading our internal operating system.
Meredith describes it as intentionally awakening certain aspects of our genetic code
Right.
that hold not just our physical blueprint, but also our spiritual potential.
Exactly.
So it's like we're tapping into a hidden reservoir of potential within ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And she believes that as we activate our DNA, we can start to access abilities
Right.
that might seem supernatural to us now, like telepathy, clairvoyance, and even the ability to heal ourselves.
It's like, whoa. Right.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued.
Right.
But how do we actually do this DNA activation thing?
Well, Meredith offers a few different techniques in her book.
Okay.
One of the simplest is to visualize light flowing through our bodies, activating our DNA strands.
So we're intentionally directing energy to our DNA.
Exactly.
Exactly. And Meredith stresses the importance of intention.
Right.
We need to be clear about what we want to activate and why. It's about setting a clear intention and then using our minds to direct energy towards that call.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, intention is key. What else can we use besides visualization?
Well, Meredith also recommends using affirmations.
Oh, okay.
Affirmations are positive statements that we repeat to ourselves to reprogram our subconscious minds.
hmm
It's like planting seeds of positive change in our inner landscape.
So it's like we're using words to shape our reality, to shift our beliefs and open ourselves up to new possibilities.
Precisely.
Precisely.
And Meredith believes that affirmations can be especially powerful when used in conjunction with DNA activation.
Okay.
She also talks about the power of sound healing, where certain frequencies can resonate with our DNA
Oh, what?
and activate dormant abilities. It's like using sound as a tuning fork to harmonize our energy.
Sound healing. I've heard of that.
Yeah,
It's like using music as medicine.
that's a great way to put it.
That's a great way to put it.
And there's a growing body of scientific evidence
Oh,
to
yeah.
support the idea that sound can have profound effects on our bodies and minds.
So we've got a whole toolkit for DNA activation here.
We do.
Visualization, affirmation, sound healing.
Yeah,
That's pretty amazing.
it's pretty cool.
And Meredith emphasizes that this is just the beginning.
Right.
As we continue to evolve and raise our consciousness, we'll discover even more powerful techniques for activating our full potential. I love that. So it's not just about reaching a certain level and then stopping.
Right.
It's about continuous growth and evolution.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
journey, not a destination.
Exactly. Meredith's message is one of limitless possibility. She believes that we're capable of achieving far more than we can even imagine right now.
I love that. Yeah, it's inspiring.
That's incredibly inspiring. But let's be real for a minute.
Okay.
Not everyone is going to be jumping on board with this fifth dimension stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Some people might think it's too out there, too woo-woo.
Right.
How do we make these ideas more accessible to people who might be skeptical?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I think the key is to focus on the practical benefits.
Okay.
Meredith's book isn't just about esoteric spiritual concepts.
Mm.
It's about living a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life. And those are things that everyone can relate to.
Yeah, that makes sense. We can start by emphasizing the things that resonate with people's everyday experiences.
Right.
Stress reduction,
Yeah,
improved well-being, and a deeper sense of purpose.
absolutely. Meeting people where they are.
Exactly. And as people start to experience those benefits,
Yeah.
they might be more open to exploring the deeper spiritual implications.
Right.
Okay, so it's about meeting people where they are
Yeah.
and gently guiding them towards a more expansive way of thinking.
Exactly.
Precisely. And Meredith emphasizes that everyone's journey is unique.
Right. Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way to awaken to the fifth dimension.
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's about honoring our own individual paths
Mm-hmm.
while also recognizing that we're all part of this larger collective awakening.
Exactly. Yeah, we're all connected.
Exactly. And Meredith believes that this collective awakening is essential for creating a more loving, peaceful, and sustainable future for all of us.
It's a beautiful vision.
I love how optimistic and hopeful she is about the future.
Yeah.
It's so refreshing, especially in these times.
It is. It's contagious, isn't
It's
it?
contagious, isn't it?
And I think that's a key part of her message. She wants to inspire us,
Right.
to empower us, and to remind us that we have the power to create the world we want to see.
I think that's a beautiful message to leave our listeners with for now. Okay, so we've talked about some powerful techniques for activating our fifth dimensional potential,
Yeah.
but there's one more piece of the puzzle that Meredith emphasizes,
Okay.
and it's perhaps the most important one of all.
Okay. I'm listening. What is it?
Love.
Love.
Yes. Meredith believes that love is the key to unlocking the fifth dimension and all of its wonders.
Okay, but love can be a pretty loaded word.
Yeah.
What exactly does she mean by love?
She's talking about unconditional love,
Okay.
love that transcends ego, fear, and judgment,
Mm-hmm.
love that embraces all beings as part of the interconnected web of life.
Right.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected, even when it doesn't feel that way,
Yeah.
and treating each other with compassion and kindness.
That sounds beautiful, but also really challenging.
It-
How do we cultivate that kind of love,
Yeah.
especially in a world that can feel so divided and hostile at times?
Meredith acknowledges that it's not always easy,
Yeah.
but she offers some practical guidance.
Right.
She stresses the importance of forgiveness,
Mm,
both of ourselves and others.
okay.
She encourages us to practice compassion, even towards those we perceive as enemies.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it's about choosing love over fear,
Right.
even when it's difficult,
Yeah.
and recognizing that even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect.
Totally.
Exactly. And Meredith believes that as we make that choice, as we open our hearts to love, we'll start to see the world through a different lens.
Oh, wow.
We'll see the interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
We'll feel a deeper sense of compassion and empathy, and we'll start to experience the magic of the fifth dimension in our everyday lives.
I love that.
I love that. So it's not just about meditating and visualizing.
Right.
It's about actively choosing love in every moment. It's a
Yeah.
powerful message,
Yeah, it is.
and one that resonates deeply with me.
For sure.
Precisely. And Meredith believes that as we make that choice,
Mm.
as we open our hearts to love, we'll start to see miracles happen.
Oh, wow.
We'll see healings that defy logic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll experience synchronicities that seem too perfect to be random.
Right.
And we'll start to create a world
Oh.
that reflects the love and beauty that we hold within our hearts.
Wow, that's incredibly powerful.
Wow, that's incredibly powerful.
I think we need that message now more than ever.
I think we need that message now more than ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. And Meredith's book is a reminder that we have the power to create that change.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just victims of circumstance.
Right.
We're co-creators of our reality.
Yeah,
And love is the key to unlocking our full potential.
I love that.
Before we move on to part 2, let's pause here for a moment and let
Okay.
that sink in. The power of love
Yeah.
to transform ourselves and the world around us. It's a big idea, and one that's worth reflecting on. We'll be right back after a short break
Okay.
to explore even more of Meredith's insights into living a fifth-dimensional life. Don't go anywhere.
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Becoming Ultimate Masters.
Yes.
Before the break, we were talking about the transformative power of love
Right.
and how it connects to the fifth dimension. It's a big concept.
It is.
It is, and one that Meredith explores in depth. She believes that as we shift our consciousness and raise our vibration,
Okay.
those fifth dimension abilities we talked about, like
Yeah.
clairvoyance, telepathy, even instant healing,
Yeah.
will naturally start to emerge.
Okay.
It's like we're tuning into a higher frequency that allows us to access these latent powers.
Right, like we're unlocking something that's already there.
So it's like we've been playing a video game on the lowest difficulty setting,
Yeah.
and now we're finally leveling up to unlock new powers.
Exactly.
Exactly. But it's not just about gaining superpowers for ourselves.
Right.
Meredith sees this awakening as a global phenomenon, a collective shift towards fifth dimensional consciousness.
Okay, a collective shift. That's interesting. What does she say about this collective shift?
She believes that as more and more people raise their vibration
Okay.
and embrace the qualities of the fifth dimension, like love,
Yeah.
compassion,
Okay.
interconnectedness,
Got it.
it creates a ripple effect
Yeah.
that can ultimately transform the world.
So it's not just about personal enlightenment, it's about creating a better world for everyone.
Exactly. Meredith envisions a future where we've transcended fear and greed,
Okay.
and where everyone has access to abundance and well-being.
Right.
It might sound like a utopia,
Yeah.
but she believes it's possible if we all do our part to raise our consciousness.
Okay. That's a beautiful vision. But I have to admit, sometimes it's hard to stay optimistic when you look around at the state of things.
I hear you. There's a lot of negativity and chaos in the world right now.
Yeah.
But Meredith reminds us that we're not just passive observers.
Right.
We're active participants in creating our reality.
Okay, yeah. So we have a role to play.
So it's not about waiting for someone else to fix things. It's about taking responsibility for our own energy and actions.
Yeah. We can't just sit back and wait for things to change.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And even small acts of kindness and compassion can have a ripple effect,
Right.
contributing to the collective shift towards a more loving and peaceful world.
It's empowering.
That's empowering.
It makes me wonder what we could accomplish as a species
Right.
if we all tapped into our full potential
Yeah.
and worked together towards a common goal.
It's mind-blowing to think about.
It is.
Meredith believes that we're on the verge of a spiritual renaissance, a time when these fifth dimensional abilities will become more commonplace,
Wow.
and we'll start to see their transformative effects in all areas of life.
Okay, I'm ready to dive into some practical techniques for
Yeah.
tapping into that fifth dimensional energy. Where do we start?
Well, Meredith emphasizes that the foundation for accessing the fifth dimension is cultivating a positive mindset.
Right. Yeah, positivity is key.
She calls it unlearning and undeveloping the 3D mindset of the ego that separates every word, every thought, every perception in every moment.
Wow, that's powerful. So it's about shifting our perspective from separation to connection, from fear to love.
Exactly. And that shift starts with awareness.
Okay.
We need to become conscious of our thought patterns
Mm.
and start to challenge the negative self-talk that keeps us stuck in a lower vibration.
Okay, so less ego, more positivity. But how do we actually make that shift? It's easy to say, but sometimes it feels like our brains are wired for negativity.
Meredith is a big proponent of meditation.
Right.
She says it's one of the most powerful tools for accessing the fifth dimension
Mm-hmm.
and calming those negative thought patterns.
Right, meditation. Yeah, I've heard about its benefits, but I've always struggled to make it a consistent practice. Any tips for someone who's new to meditation? Or finds it hard to sit still?
Meredith stresses that it doesn't have to be complicated.
Okay.
Even a few minutes a day can make a huge difference.
Right.
There are tons of different techniques out there,
Yeah.
from guided meditations to simply focusing on your breath.
Right.
It's about finding what works for you
Okay.
and making it a part of your daily routine.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this big, intimidating thing.
So it's about quality over quantity.
Yes,
Even a few minutes of focused meditation can have a real impact.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And she encourages people to find a style of meditation that resonates with them.
Okay.
There's so many different techniques out there, from guided meditations to mindfulness practices.
Right.
It's about experimenting and finding what works best for you.
Okay, so meditation is a key practice.
Right.
But what about our daily lives?
Yes.
How do we maintain that connection to the fifth dimension throughout the day?
Meredith believes that connecting with nature is crucial. She says that nature is like a portal to the fifth dimension.
Okay.
It helps us to slow down, tune into our senses,
Yeah.
and connect to something larger than ourselves.
I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
There's something about being in nature
Right.
that just feels calming and rejuvenating.
It does.
But is it just about going for a walk in the park?
Yeah.
Or is there a deeper level to this connection with nature?
It's about being present and mindful in nature,
Okay.
really experiencing the sights, sounds, and sensations.
Right.
Feel the earth beneath your feet, the sun on your skin, the wind in your hair.
Yeah.
It's about immersing yourself in the natural world
Okay.
and allowing it to recharge your energy.
So it's not just about getting some fresh air. It's
Oh.
about actively engaging with nature and
Yes.
allowing it to nourish our soul.
Exactly. It's about creating a conscious connection with the natural world
Okay.
and recognizing that we're a part of something much bigger than ourselves. That sense of connection is a key element of the fifth dimension.
Okay. We've got meditation and nature
Right.
as foundational practices.
Yes.
But what about those fifth dimensional superpowers we talked about earlier?
Yes.
How do we activate those hidden abilities?
Meredith talks about a technique called DNA activation,
Okay.
which she believes can unlock those dormant abilities within us.
DNA activation. That sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
Meredith describes it as a process of intentionally awakening certain aspects of our genetic code.
Right.
She believes that our DNA holds not just our physical blueprint,
Okay.
but also our spiritual potential.
So it's like we're activating a hidden code within ourselves
Exactly.
that unlocks new levels of awareness and ability.
Exactly. And she believes that as we activate our DNA,
Okay.
we can start to access abilities that might seem supernatural to us now,
Right.
like telepathy, clairvoyance, and even the ability to heal ourselves.
Okay. I'm officially intrigued, but how do we actually do this DNA activation thing?
Meredith offers a few different techniques in her book.
Okay.
One of the simplest is to visualize light flowing through your body, activating your DNA strands.
So we're intentionally directing energy to our DNA.
Exactly. And Meredith stresses the importance of intention.
Right. Yeah.
We need to be clear about what we want to activate and why. It's about setting a clear intention
Okay.
and then using our minds to direct energy towards that goal.
Okay. Intention is key. What else can we use besides visualization?
Well, Meredith also recommends using affirmations.
Okay. Affirmations.
Affirmations are positive statements that we repeat to ourselves
Right.
to reprogram our subconscious minds.
Okay.
It's like planting seeds of positive change in our inner landscape.
So it's like we're using words to shape our reality, to
Yeah.
shift our beliefs and open ourselves up to new possibilities.
Precisely.
Precisely.
And Meredith believes that affirmations can be especially powerful when used in conjunction with DNA activation.
Okay.
She also talks about the power of sound healing. where certain frequencies can resonate with our DNA
Yeah.
and activate dormant abilities.
Okay.
It's like using sound as a tuning fork to harmonize our energy.
Sound healing. I've heard of that.
Right.
It's like using music as medicine.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And there's a growing body of scientific evidence to support the idea that sound can have profound effects on our bodies and minds.
So we've got a whole toolkit for DNA activation here.
Me too.
Visualization, affirmation, sound healing. That's pretty amazing.
And Meredith emphasizes that this is just the beginning.
Right?
As we continue to evolve and raise our consciousness, we'll discover even more powerful techniques for activating our full potential.
Totally. I love that. So it's not just about reaching a certain level and then stopping. It's about continuous growth and evolution.
Exactly. Meredith's message is one of limitless possibility.
Yeah.
She believes that we're capable of achieving far more than we can even imagine right now.
That's incredibly inspiring.
It is.
But let's be real for a minute. Not everyone is going to be jumping on board with this fifth dimension stuff.
Right.
Some people might think it's too out there, too woo-woo.
Yeah.
How do we make these ideas more accessible to people who might be skeptical?
I think the key is to focus on the practical benefits.
Okay.
Meredith's book isn't just about esoteric spiritual concepts.
Right.
It's about living a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life.
Yeah.
And those are things that everyone can relate to.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We can start by emphasizing the things that resonate with people's everyday experiences, like stress reduction, improved well-being, and a deeper sense of purpose.
Exactly. And as people start to experience those benefits, they might be more open to exploring the deeper spiritual implications.
Right.
Okay, so it's about meeting people where they are and gently guiding them towards a more expansive way of thinking.
Exactly.
Precisely. And Meredith emphasizes that everyone's journey is unique.
Right. Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way to awaken to the fifth dimension.
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's about honoring our own individual paths while also recognizing that we're all part of this larger collective awakening.
Exactly. Yeah. We're all connected.
Exactly. And Meredith believes that this collective awakening is essential for creating a more loving, peaceful, and sustainable future for all of us.
All right, listeners, stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive into Kimberly Meredith's Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, where we'll explore the potential of this shift for ourselves and our world. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Becoming Ultimate Masters.
All right.
We've been deep diving into Kimberly Meredith's Awakening to the Fifth Dimension.
Yeah.
And it's been a truly mind-expanding journey so far.
Absolutely.
We've talked about different dimensions, the potential for superpowers, and the power of love to transform reality.
Right. It's a lot to take in.
But now, I'm curious about the practical side of all this. What does living a fifth-dimensional life actually look like?
Yeah, good question. Like, how does this actually play out in our everyday lives?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Like it is.
Meredith emphasizes that it's not about escaping reality, but about transforming our experience of it. It's about bringing those qualities of love, compassion, and joy into our everyday lives.
So it's not about, like, floating off into some other realm.
Not exactly.
It's about being more grounded, more present, more mindful in our actions.
Exactly. It's about making conscious choices that align with our highest selves and contribute to a more loving and harmonious world.
That sounds beautiful, but let's be honest. It's not always easy to stay in that high vibe state. We all have bad days, we all get triggered, and sometimes the world just feels like a really heavy place.
Right. I totally get that. Life can be messy.
Yeah.
Meredith acknowledges that we're human and we're going to experience a range of emotions.
Yeah. Okay.
The key is to not get stuck in the negativity.
Yeah.
We can use the tools we've discussed, meditation, nature, positive affirmations, to shift our perspective and return to a state of love and balance.
So it's like we're constantly recalibrating ourselves, finding our way back to that fifth dimensional frequency.
That's a great way to put it. And as we practice, it becomes easier to stay centered and grounded in love, even when things get tough.
Okay, I like that. So how do we know if we're actually making progress? What are some signs that we're starting to tap into that fifth dimensional energy?
Meredith describes some incredible shifts that people experience as they awaken. Things like increased intuition, a surge in creativity, deeper connections with others, and even spontaneous healings.
Whoa, that's amazing. But are those experiences really possible for everyone? Or are they just for, like, people who are naturally gifted?
Meredith believes that we all have the potential to experience these things. It's about activating our dormant abilities and expanding our consciousness. We're all capable of extraordinary things, even if we don't realize it yet.
It's like we're all superheroes in training, just waiting to discover our unique
I
powers.
love that analogy.
Yeah.
So let's say we're all on board with this fifth dimension thing.
Yeah.
We're meditating, connecting with nature, choosing love over fear. What kind of impact could this have on the world as a whole?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Like, what's the ripple effect of all this?
Meredith believes this shift in consciousness is crucial for creating a more peaceful, sustainable, and just world. She envisions a future where we've transcended greed, competition, and violence, and where we live in harmony with each other and with the planet.
That sounds like a utopian dream. But I have to admit, with all the challenges we're facing globally, it's hard to imagine that kind of world sometimes.
It's definitely a big vision. But Meredith reminds us that darkness cannot exist without light. And as more and more people awaken to their fifth dimensional potential, they're literally bringing more light into the world.
So it's like we're each a little spark of light, and together we can create a wildfire of transformation.
Exactly. And Meredith believes this transformation is already underway. She sees it in the growing movements for social justice, environmental sustainability, and spiritual awakening that are happening all over the planet.
That's incredibly inspiring. It gives me hope that we can create a better future, even amidst all the challenges we face.
It does. Meredith's message is ultimately one of empowerment. She wants us to know that we have the power to create the world we want to see. And it starts with each of us making the choice to awaken to our fifth dimensional potential.
So it's not about waiting for some external force to save us. It's about taking responsibility for our own evolution and co-creating a better future for all beings.
Precisely. Meredith's book is a call to action. It's an invitation to step into our power, embrace our true nature, and become the change we want to see in the world.
I love that. So what's one thing our listeners can do today to start tapping into their fifth dimensional potential?
Meredith recommends starting with a simple practice of gratitude. Take a few minutes each day to appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small. Gratitude is a powerful vibration that can help you shift your perspective and open your heart to love.
That's a great starting point. It's something we can all do, regardless of our circumstances.
Exactly. And remember, this is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and trust that you're exactly where you need to be.
That's a beautiful reminder.
Thank you for sharing these incredible insights with us today. It's been a truly mind-expanding deep dive into Kimberly Meredith's awakening to the fifth dimension.
It's been my pleasure. I hope this conversation has inspired our listeners to explore these concepts further and start tapping into their own fifth dimensional potential.
And before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone to check out www.ultimatemasters.org, a coaching or WhatsApp, plus 256-77132411, honey, if you want more information. And don't forget to share this episode with anyone who might be blessed by this information.
Absolutely. Let's spread the love and light.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Remember to check back daily for a new episode of Becoming Ultimate Masters, and keep shining your light.